Hey Gooners, Magoon21 here. I'll be explaining all radar modes today. To simplify things, I'll be explaining radar in V-scope only, so only the square radar. I will not explain ground radar such as GMTI, IR tracking, or how to use the radar itself. Instead, I've categorized each radar mode into what they do. So going down the list, we've got the multi-target trackers, which soft lock one target. We've got the single target killers, which hard lock one target. Hard lock itself and what it does, and the silent killers, which soft lock and track multiple targets and shoot. First up, we've got modes that can scan wide areas, track multiple bogeys, but only soft lock one. So this is perfect for situational awareness before you commit to a play. These modes include Search Radar, Search Pulse Doppler, Search MTI, Search Pulse Doppler Head-On, Search Pulse Doppler Velocity. So first up, we've got Search Radar. So it's good at rear aspect locking, and it can track people who are notching. But its cons are it's prone to ground clutter and also prone to chaff. So here are the settings to reduce ground clutter on your Search Radar. So first up, we're flying Phantom. So you see on the right, there's a bunch of ground clutter. So in front of us, we've got a mountain, so that's causing all the ground clutter. So we're going to be using a button called Radar Tilt Axis to tilt our radar to face upwards towards the sky, so there will be no ground blocking our radar. Lo and behold, we can actually soft lock targets now, as you can see by the two parallel lines around that rectangle. So that means we can turn that into a hard lock now, and then shoot a missile. So when I'm talking about soft locking, it's technically just selecting a target rather than actually soft locking. Hard lock's when the box shows around the plane and you can actually spool a missile and shoot at it. Next up, we've got Search Pulse Doppler. So it's the normal one. So there's no ground clutter, but it's prone to people who are notching, and it's also prone to chaff whilst people are notching. So the keybind is lock radar on target, which is the same as before. So I'm only using Search Pulse Doppler to hard lock the enemy, so that's why there's a bit of a delay between going into that hard lock with the box around them. I'm flying the MiG-21 Bison, so I just shot a R-27R at the target, and I'll need to sustain that entire hard lock throughout the missile's duration. Next up, we've got Search MTI. So this stands for Moving Target Indicator, so it tracks people who are moving. The pros are it ignores ground clutter, but it also tracks targets better into notches than Pulse Doppler. The cons is that it has a way shorter range, which is evident in the next clip, and missiles may still lose lock in a notch, so it depends on the missile seeker itself rather than the radar. So this game, I'm playing the Mirage F1C. This one's the non-premium version. And I've got my MTI radar set to 28 kilometers away. I've got 0 blips on my radar currently. I get one lock, I think it was around 20 kilometers away, but my missile's range isn't that great. I'm using 530 Fs. So I'll wait for a closer one. 13 kilometers is still pretty far. And then I visually spot a Phantom right in front of me, 6 kilometers away, and it takes a little while for my radar to pick it up, but it does eventually pick it up, and I launch and get the kill. Next up, we've got Search Pulse Doppler Head-On, so it's PD but kind of worse. So its filter depends on your speed and also their direction. Pros is that it has no ground clutter like Pulse Doppler, but the cons is that it only detects people that are flying towards you, and the accuracy between Pulse Doppler and Pulse Doppler Head-On is just marginal. So I'm flying the Mirage 2000 CS5, so this one only has Search Pulse Doppler Head-On as its main radar mode. So I'll be using this. I can get pretty far locks with this, which is great because they're all coming head on to me. However, my missiles are 530Fs, which are the first missiles you can get on the jet, as I'm stock rating this. So I managed to get a lock on someone who's coming over the mountains right here. I notice I get the solid lock, and I launch my missile, and the lock holds for the entirety. Finally, we have search pulse Doppler velocity head-on. So this is also PD, but kind of worse. So this one depends on their velocity. The pros is that there's no ground clutter, but the cons is it's the same as pulse Doppler head-on, but it only detects people flying towards you or away from you, and the accuracy between pulse Doppler and pulse Doppler velocity is just marginal. So this match I'm flying the Phantom again, and the enemies are flying right at me, so this is perfect for pulse Doppler velocity head-on. So I managed to get a crit on that guy, relock this one again, and then launch another missile, launch another two because that guy was notching, and this one severes, which is good. Next clip is, it shows very clearly on the radar on the right that it was selectable. So I locked him and I launched a missile. I just keep holding it because he's flying towards me, but he's quite high up, and my missile only gets a hit, but that's alright. Our next modes are single target killers. These modes are used within visual range of the enemy and will give you the fastest hardlock, allowing you to shoot first. These modes include ACM and HMD. ACM stands for Air Combat Maneuvering. It's the fastest way to hardlock an enemy and can also track people in a notch using the current search mode. But its downsides is that it has a very narrow cone, it has reduced range and can't scan for multiple targets. Let's see ACM in action. So I'm playing the Phantom again. So this time I'm using ACM to try to track it, but I'm using PDB. So I try to hold this block, but it fails because he's going into a notch loss. I'm using a velocity radar, so I switched to search radar now, and now I'm using ACM again because he's within a kilometer at launch, and I've lost lock and it's gone. So I try again using ACM, rear aspect, cut lock, launch, and again I've lost the lock again. So it's pretty hard because he's flying underneath my search radar. He's getting grappler. So I launch another one, but this time he's above me, and it connects. Cool. Next up, I've got a clip in the JF-17, so I'm using Fox 3s with this, so I'm also using ACM, pulse Doppler. So I'm using my cone to move across my screen, and I start launching my Fox 3s. There we go, crit. And notice I'm using my cone and moving up onto them at this close range, so I get that instant lock. Go into a notch right here, move into this vertical notch, that's the damage. And now I'm back into ACM again, and I notice that missile's coming, so I go back, trying to watch it. I notice that he's 4 corners within, so I start turning him with my ACM on, and as soon as it's in my opponent, it insta-locks and I launch a 3 at him, and I hold it, and there we go, there's the crit. HMD is good for hard locking people in off-ball shots and has a stronger track than regular search radar. However, the cons is that it has a weaker track than ACM, it has a narrow cone and also reduced range. In this match I'm playing the Rafale and I'm going to use HMD to lock onto this F-18 that's flying beneath this mountain, right over this mountain. I get the lock and launch, and I get the kill. That wasn't the best use of HMD, but you can actually do a lot harder off-ball shots than that. So chapter 3, this is hard locks. So hard locks just locks a single target using a specific radar mode. So this would show up as TRK on your radar, and the pros is that you can launch a missile at them, but then the cons is that it shows up on their RWR. This clip I'm flying a MiG-21S, and as soon as I lock onto him, he should be getting a radar track warning, and as soon as I shoot, he should be getting a launch warning on his RWR. And I hold it, and there's a kill. Chapter 4. So these are the ones that can track multiple targets and soft lock multiple targets and also shoot. Lastly, we've got TWS and TWS head-on. So TWS and TWS head-on are roughly the same, except TWS head-on detects targets start flying towards you. Both of them have the same pros, so you don't have to hard lock to launch a missile, and this won't show up on the RWR as a launch warning. And it has an automatic gyroscope to track targets. However, the tracking is less reliable than pulse Doppler. My duo has graciously given his footage of him flying the F-15 and using TWS to get a long-range shot off. So he's shooting missiles 40 kilometers away, and each of these soft locks he's launching at, it's held by the TWS system, and this TWS has automatic gyroscopic stabilization, so the radar moves down with the soft locks that he has. And now he's moving into a notch. Even in the notch, the TWS has managed to successfully guide those missiles towards targets on the ground. Thanks guys for staying until the end, and I hope you like and subscribe for more. Thanks, bye bye.